Hello, welcome to a quick show today. I got some two deep cuts. The Killing of Two Lovers and The Specials, which is actually a French film called Hors Normes, which is like the uniques, if you will. But the English title is pretty good. I will show you why I watched them in the first place and why we'll go into spoilers. I will show you trailers and because one of them I do not recommend, but so yeah, we can just go deep into it, but shortly. But the first thing we're going to talk about is Mare of Eastown. Very important. New HBO series. It's hype. It just finished. Everybody's freaking out about it. I got proof of that. I got receipts. I've watched the first 3 episodes, which means I'm not going to spoil anything. If anything, I'm going to tell you what this is as a series. And the actors, I'm going to put them over because I'm going to put over the story and the mystery when I finish it. Spoiler. I'll also do a quick preview of what's coming up this weekend, which is gigantic. I am seeing some S-tier stuff, and I will cover it all, so it's going to be good. Sorry for peeking in the mic. The main event is something I have been telling you, eye to eye. I have looked you in your eyes and told you not only the truth, because I will confirm it here, but why John Krasinski put his legacy as a director on the line, making A Quiet Place Part 2. And he himself, in his own words, will tell you something very similar. So yeah, and again, right? Don't forget that I gave A Quiet Place Part 2 a 10 out of 10. Now, do not go in with a 10 out of 10 expectations. Go in as a 8 out of 10 expectations. But as far as I'm concerned, it is extremely effective. Effective is the key word here, where it's, of course, it's simple, but man, is it effective. So yeah, we'll go into that in the main event. But first, let's talk Mare of Eastown, or what is also known as a murder mystery series. There's been multiple of these, and I love them. And women love true crime television shows. This is known. This is a fact. It's a weird fact. Like it's something that should be explored scientifically. There's something about murders and documentaries that makes them want to watch. But these shows that are fictionalized, usually based off books or I don't know in most cases, but regardless, these there's a lot of these, and they're all fantastic. Broadchurch is one of the most well-known ones from England. Okay, you got The Killing on Netflix, and it was on another place before. Joel Kinnaman. All these series have in common is that the main actors are usually cops. They play the lead detectives who are also extremely broken people. These went on for multiple seasons. Joe Kinnaman is now a huge actor. He played RoboCop, but most notably he's on Suicide Squad. He's like the leader of the team. And speaking of which, he said recently that the Suicide Squad, the upcoming James Gunn's film, which he is in, he calls it the best James Gunn film ever, like the best one of his career, which is a big statement. But of course he's acting in the film, and for once he gets to shine, other than The Killing, of course, which again, fantastic, 10 out of 10, love this show. And The Missing, which is another one, again, big scale. This one, it's about a missing child, not a murder, but usually it's a murder, and it's all about exploring a small town, meeting the people, etc., etc. This one is special because of, first of all, it's very American. All the others that I've shown you are either somewhere else or they're extremely dark. Some of the darkest shows you'll ever watch. But this one, while dark, of course, is a small town where everybody knows each other. So there's a sense of, you know what I mean, small town vibes. It's nice, even though it is extremely dramatic. Of course. So we're dealing with a murder here. First of all, the poster. Kate Winslet is up top for good reason. By the way, I thought Mare of Eastown meant Mayor of Eastown, but it's not the case. Mare is her name. That's it. So she carries the show. She is the lead detective. And again, she is, of course, very broken. She lives with, it's crazy. She lives with her mother, her daughter, and her grandchild. So it's like a whole family dynamic there. And there's a lot going on. She's divorced, etc., etc. Point is, broken character. And here's the thing. Here's what blew me away when I started this show. On the poster, usually you have all the big actors. That's usually how it works. But Kate Winslet is so big that that's all you need. But the thing is, this series has a ton of gigantic actors. Evan Peters plays her county sheriff partner. He comes in from the county to help her solve this case. Evan Peters, of course, known for Quicksilver. He made that joke in WandaVision. But of course, Quicksilver in the X-Men films. Also known for American Horror Story, multiple things. Great actor. Next, Guy Pearce. Also, villain in Iron Man 3. He played the Mandarin to much chagrin. But the point is, he's also a big actor. Very much respected. He plays, he's in here. Jean Smart plays her mother. who is, of course, a legend. When you see her, like you've seen her in multiple things, just huge respect, and she's so good. So again, these are top tier actors. And here's the proof that Mare of Eastown is the hypest thing happening right now. Only right now, because in a few days, you know what I mean, the internet moves on. But Mare of Eastown finale is the most watched episode on HBO Max ever. Ever. It beats Game of Thrones. It beats Adventure Time together again, which I'm going to talk about. It beats like the Ridley Scott show. Damn it, I forgot, but I will watch it and cover it, the sci-fi show. Point is, Ever is huge, and I'm thinking that a lot of people watched the first episode and wanted to know like who got murdered, right? And by the way, that is brutal. It's brutal, not the murder itself, but the who it is. And it's like, oh man, and that's why you're in. You're in. First episode sets up the players. Second episode is the classic. Everybody is sus. You got 25 characters in this show, 25 characters, and the way they set it up, and the way they always set it up. Again, this is a genre. This is this has been done before. Is that 20 of them are sus. 20 out of 25 are sus. 5 of them are not sus, just because they're like main characters or like you're like no way, you know what I mean, like a child or whatever. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, and again, this is no spoilers. I've only seen the first 3 episodes, so I know nothing. I do not know the killer. I have my guesses. Everybody has their guesses, okay? But point is, in these shows, the 20 that are sus and the 5 that are not sus is usually wrong. You have to view everybody as sus, which is part of the fun. It's so fun watching these shows, even though they're extremely dramatic, even though they deal with extremely hard topics. We're talking violence, we're talking domestic abuse, we're talking drug abuse, everything under the sun that is dark is explored within these shows, even though it is about solving a simple murder case. Everything gets brought to light, and because everybody is sus, everybody has something to hide. So yeah, it's fantastic stuff. So watch at least 2 episodes, okay? Because then you'll know if you want to watch the rest of it regardless. And again, the finale, not only is it the most watched, again, I showed you the proof, but it has a score of above 9. Last time I checked, it was 9.4. To have a score above 9, you need most people, having watched it, score it 10 out of 10. That's just the rules. For the people that scored 6, you need 2 people to score 10 to compensate for that 6 to keep it above a 9. You know what I mean? Those scores are extremely rare, especially in a murder mystery. You know what I mean? If everybody is sus, everybody has their guess. So when they do showcase who it is, who is the killer, what happened, it has to satisfy, or else people who had their guesses wrong would feel slighted. They would feel like, oh, okay, this is not what I expected, hence it's bad. So the reveal has to be perfect. It really has to be for the whole show to succeed, and it has been. And again, the numbers prove it. I'm sure people that saw it were like telling their friends to be like, man, like you gotta watch just the finale because the reveal is worth it. Again, I don't know. I'm getting there, and I'll get there before the end of the weekend. So that is Mare of Eastown, and I'm telling you, it's hype as it gets. By the way, Kate Winslet, there's a reason she's the only one on the poster, and there's a reason she's the lead. She kills it above everything I've ever seen, and it's such a fearless role. Like, everybody puts the obvious, which is her look, because she has a no makeup, no nothing look, and that doesn't matter. It's not. It's just a part of her character. But her acting is like, man, like best of the year so far. Close with Emma Stone, second place in Cruella, because she's that good, because she carries the whole thing. It's all on her shoulders in the same way it is for Kate Winslet. Fantastic stuff. So Mare of Eastown, I cannot recommend it enough, because again, we're in the hype section. We're in the hype time. Do not look at spoilers. Watch the first 2 episodes, give it some thoughts, and then maybe skip to the finale if you do not want to get in, which I do not blame you, because it's some hardcore stuff. Here we go. Let's talk movies, okay? And this I'll go real quick, and we'll go into spoilers, and we will watch the trailers. The Specials and The Killing of Two Lovers. Again, I would never watch these films by choice. I never watch films by choice. It is always because 82%, 7.4, 93%, 7 out of 10, okay? These are scores that are undeniable, and it's like, okay, then I have to see this, you know what I mean? The Killing of Two Lovers sounds horrible. It sounds sad. It sounds borderline depressing, you know? By the way, it's an extremely humid day. Rain last night. It's horrible. But anyway, tough it out for the main event, I promise. So yeah, Killing of Two Lovers. It's an extremely simple thing. It's extremely simple. It is the story of a divorced man who has 4 kids, who has been married with the same girl since high school, who has now gone on break. He has been kicked out of his house, now moves in back with his father, and has to deal with the not seeing his kids, not being with the one he loves, and and he's somewhat of a violent man. And that's pretty much it. Literally what I told you is the film. it is presented extremely realistically. The three boys are 4, 6, and 8, extremely small, extremely little, and the daughter is 16, so she's like all in on like angst, like, you know, I mean, female teenager angst. You know, she's like right in the middle of that. Plus the whole, it's not a divorce, but it's a break, but it's a, you know, it's a family breaking apart, right? And man, it starts with the promise of violence, and it's not violent. It's about the realities of, you know, you love your kids, you love your wife, and it's over seemingly, right? And then there's another man who shows up and trying to take everything that's yours, that you've been building up for, you know, 20 years. It's something. But because it is just that, though, there is a promise of violence, which I'll show you by the end of this trailer. Let's skip ahead. But they never do deliver on that violence, nor would I want them to. So the reason it has a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes is because everybody, I think, scored it the same thing, which is a hard 7, okay? It is perfectly what it is. Perfectly what it is. But it's also extremely simple, and it's nothing, you know, it won't change anybody's minds, you know what I mean? So I do not recommend it. But here we go. This shot I wanted to show you. Boom. This is the first shot of the film. The movie starts on this. It starts with him pointing a gun to his wife, to her lover, in this case, you know, the killing of 2 lovers. And again, it's just a promise of violence. Nothing happens here. This is the beginning, so I can spoil it. He literally leaves and escapes out the window right after, like 2 seconds after this, because he hears his son using the bathroom. He might have shot them, you know what I mean? But it's about control. Anyway, it's something. That's pretty much it. So it's a small scale, poor divorced man who loves his kids, just trying to get him back. That's pretty much it. This one I will talk a little bit more because it is actually special, even though it is called The Specials. Okay, The Specials is a movie. First of all, it's a French film about an organization in France that takes care of mentally deficient, not only kids, but adults that are the worst cases. I'm talking violent. I'm talking people that scratch, people that headbutt, people that hit. Not because they want to, but they can't control themselves. This is people on the spectrum that are, you know, damaged from birth. Like that, it's just damaged people. You know what I mean? And people have to take care of these folks, or else they end up in institutions. They end up becoming vegetables because of medication and because of control. Because, you know what I mean? If there's nobody to take care of these people, then where do you put them? You know what I mean? You can't. It's a rough situation, very rough situation. And again, this movie is about the 2 guys who took it upon themselves to take in these broken people and youths that have also, like, every broken person needs a worker with them to play soccer, play sports, do activities or whatever. Every one mentally deficient person has one worker with them, which means they have a lot of young people. And I'm talking 18 to like 23 that I'm guessing, in this case, they don't explicitly say it, but I'm guessing are immigrants or people that don't have the papers or have a, the law. They're in trouble with the law and they can't find jobs easily. So this is a place that welcomes them with the promise that you will take care of somebody that is in desperate need, and for them to connect with the world. You know, give them a chance. Just give them a chance. And this is a true story. Here's the problem. The problem is this is a movie, okay? And as a movie, they made choices as to what was shown, okay? They could have went into everything I was telling you. The whole, hiring young, people that can't have other jobs, those aspects. But instead, they focus on weird things. Like, they focus on the dating life of the main character who takes care of this whole organization. And because he's so busy, he gets calls of, like, hardcore stuff, like a child escape and he's in the streets of Paris, we gotta find him. Stuff like that. He can't date. And I'm like, why are we watching this man's dating life when this organization is insane in terms of everything? You know what I mean? Another asset is like a love story between one of the employees and like a doctor they visit. And it's like, this stuff is unneeded. You got like at least 25 minutes of this film, which is side plots that nobody asked for. So that's why I'm telling you, you do not need to see this. Okay? What I told you is enough, because that story needs to be heard. You need to know that there's an organization out there that takes in these people, not because the government are paid. They're not paid by anybody. They pay themselves, I guess. And it takes a freaking village to take care of these people, to allow them to live somewhat of a normal life. Just something we all have is given to us. You know what I mean? They cannot have, or they have to work, 1,000 times harder to just even get a glimpse of it. So yeah, it's very heartwarming stuff. But at the same time, there is elements that take away from it. The real story is better than the film. So there we go. But it's still a great film. You know, it's still an 8 out of 10. Yeah, solid 8. Yeah, last thing about this is I love the cooks in this. They need people to make the meals for them, right? So they have these Orthodox Jews that own this restaurant that come in and give them food. I'm sure they have a deal or whatever. But this is what I mean by like good people. Like, you need people that to go out of their way and, you know, take a chance and to take sacrifice to give these people a chance. It's very special. It's very special. Like, you would not know there's good people like this in the world. It's that kind of story. But anyway, here we go. Preview of what's coming this weekend. This weekend is hype as it gets. Okay, first of all, we got Spirit Untamed. Look, I know you're laughing at me. Who cares about Spirit Untamed? I care about Spirit Untamed. Not only am I going to watch the first Spirit again tonight, I gave it an 8 previously, like 12 years ago. But this is tomorrow. And I'm going to see this as well as The Conjuring 3 back to back, baby. I'm going to go from incredible animated movie about a horse to a demon exorcism horror movie. You know what I mean? So I'm extremely pumped about that. But I'm more excited for Spirit. I'm going to be honest here. And again, the crown for Best Animated Studio, DreamWorks now has, because they've been consistent with their last few films. It's up to this film to confirm that. Or else, it goes to Sony, goes to Pixar, goes to Disney, and then they fight it out. So DreamWorks has high stakes on this one. And Conjuring high stakes as well, but it's a third sequel, you know what I mean? So it's not like people have high expectations. But I'm pumped. I love the 2 actors. I love the Conjuring series. Here we go. And it might be the only good series, you know what I mean? Insidious, Sinister, all these great horror franchises that had like one good film usually flub it in the sequels. They always disappoint. Conjuring is the exception. I love Conjuring 2. I love Conjuring 2. To be honest, I think it might be better than the first one. And this one, the hype is good. The reviews are good. So that would make it like one of the best horror trilogies of all time, just because of the other ones don't have good sequels. It's just, them's the facts. Also, I've been talking about this for a while now, and I haven't done it, but I will do it soon. I will do it this weekend. Adventure Time, Distant Lands, together again. Okay, HBO Max. It came out 10 days ago. Okay, I'm late on this, but this is the big return of Finn and Jake. The 2 episodes before, the first one was about BMO, which I don't like, and I did not watch it. And the second one was Princess Bubblegum and Marceline, and about their lesbian relationship. Again, in Adventure Time. It's very interesting. But this is it. This is why we watched the first show in the first place. We're not watching Adventure Time back in the day because of Marceline. We're watching for Finn and Jake. So here we go. It's a big deal. People love it. And I'll tell you all about it. You know, upcoming days. And Memories of Murder. This is in 2 days. Tomorrow I got those 2 back to back. Saturday I got Memories of Murder in a theater. It's Bong Joon-ho. One of his first films. It's the first film where he stood his ground as a fantastic director. Like, this is the one that put him on the map in the same way Old Boy did for Chan Park-woo. So when people talk about his best films, they talk Parasite, of course, Memories of Murder, Mother, and Snowpiercer, right? And I've seen all of them except this one, which I'm seeing Saturday. And the first one he did, which is like Barking Dogs Don't Bite, or something like that, but apparently that's his worst. And lastly, but surely not leastly, okay, this is big. Bo Burnham, Inside. I was never a Bo Burnham fan until the man. He made an Oscar movie. He acted in a Oscar nominated. The name escapes me. Okay, point is, this is his newest special, Inside. Of course, filmed through quarantine in his own apartment with simple cameras, simple music, etc., etc. I never liked his comedic aspects. I remember giving it a chance to his show, and 10 minutes in, I shut it down. Here's the difference. I did the same thing when Inside. I gave it 10 minutes. By the way, I showed it here. 95%, 9 out of 10. You don't get scores like this. Nobody gets scores like this. 9 out of 10 is insane. Okay, insane. For a special, especially. For a movie, same thing. For a series, they're more generous. But man, okay? I watched the first 10 minutes of this, and I was like, genius. Genius, okay? I do not give this word lightly. If the rest of the special is as good as that first 10 minutes, I swear to God, he might be my new favorite idol with Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, of course, because he made Atlanta, incredible actor in Community, and he's a rapper, Childish Gambino. Doesn't get better than that, okay? Bo Burnham might be in that same conversation. That is the highest praise, okay? And again, it's only because I've seen the first 10 minutes. It might suck, but look, the scores do not lie. This should be not only one of the best specials ever, but one of the best things this year. So it's a big, big deal. So that's in the coming days. But yeah, finally, main event. Again, sorry for the heat. I'm telling you, man. It's humid out there. I'm working on it. Okay, here we go. I told you guys that he did not want to make this sequel. So here we go. From John Krasinski himself. Again, A Quiet Place Part 2. 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Go in. Not thinking it's that good. But anyway, here we go. The first line he says is something about the sequel game. Because I had to avoid spoilers at all costs. Here we go.
I got into the sequel world by saying I didn't want to do it. There was an immediate response from the studio that they wanted a sequel. And I think I realized in the process that I am an audience member first before I was a writer, director, or actor in the movie. And as the audience member, I've always been weary of sequels. Why would you do another one when the first one was so good? How are you going to expand the world? I had all those same questions. I had no intention of doing it. I told them to find another writer, director. And while they were sort of contemplating that, I had this tiny idea.
You gave it up.
My producing partner on the movie, Andrew Form, said, well, can you just write out an outline to give to any writer, director we hire? And I said, yeah, sure, no problem. And as I was writing the outline, I was halfway through it typing, and I went, damn it, I'm directing this movie. If I could continue the metaphor of the first movie, if I could continue the themes and pick up right where we left off, I could actually tell a continuation story of the first movie, and that's what it became for me. The key for me, my in as a writer and as a director for it, was making...
And, that was close. That is why it's called Part 2. That is why it's incredible, okay? He did not want to do it. The studio was forcing him off. They were like, look, we're going to do this with or without you. There's too much money to make. John wrote what he wrote, had the passion within him, and the guts to follow through. And not only did he follow through, but he is now one of the great horror directors of our time. He used to be Jim on The Office. Now he is the director of A Quiet Place, and a director whose name we need to respect. So yeah, man, you talk about legacy building, you talk about like inspirations, John Krasinski is up there. So like I said, tomorrow, Spirit Untamed, Conjuring Part 3, it's gonna be sick. And I'll let you guys know. And of course, the humidity will hopefully go away. So until next time, let's see what up with chat. Okay, we're good. Peace.